It really isn't that long until we have the remake of Silent Hill 2 in our hands. I have faith in the developer Bloober Games, since I enjoyed most of their titles, but I know not everyone shares that opinion. So here is a comprehensive summary of what we actually know about Silent Hill 2, in case you haven't played the original. Let me set the stage for you in one sentence without spoilers. James Sunderland gets a letter from his wife Mary. The catch is that Mary's been dead for years. So intrigued and confused of course, James goes to this eerie town, shrouded in fog, searching for answers and facing his deepest fears. Let's talk about Bloober Games' faithfulness to the original. They are aiming to honor the original's legacy, and that is very important because Silent Hill 2 shaped the survival horror genre. Nothing in this game was there by accident, but meticulously crafted by a talented team. They are keeping the essence of the game intact, while updating it for a modern and polished feeling. Silent Hill's atmosphere and sound design has always been one of the strong points. The remake continues this tradition, and yes, the iconic soundtrack is making a return too. Of course, the static and clunky combat system had to be redesigned. There is no way around that. This is good, but could have a downside too. The more action-focused combat that reminds of games like The Last of Us could detract from the psychological horror that defined the original, and some may find this approach unfitting for a Silent Hill game. James can now chain attacks into combos, aim down sights, dodge and counter attacks, so this thing is more dynamic now. But I hope it doesn't negatively impact the experience. On a side note, I think that the impact sounds are not that great at the moment. Of course, it is also worth mentioning that the remake is stitching the fixed camera angles for an over-the-shoulder perspective. This change also aims to modernize the experience, but the limited camera back then created a special sense of dread by limiting visibility and control, and some encounters were designed for fixed perspectives, so these may not translate perfectly to a dynamic camera. Then again, the over-the-shoulder perspective can make you feel more directly involved in the action and exploration, so this really comes down to your preferences too. Now, it is true that the story remains largely unchanged, but we have seen characters like Angela and Maria with some updated and changed appearances. This trend will likely continue throughout the game, and just like with everything else in the game, there are reasons why these characters looked and dressed the way they did, so there is a thin line here that shouldn't be crossed. The remake has larger areas to explore, and we will be able to enter some buildings that were once inaccessible. In addition to this, they added some new interactive buildings themselves. With the game using Unreal Engine 5, it looks stunning. Bloober Games has always done an excellent job at creating believable world building and great environmental storytelling, so I'm fairly certain this will be an aspect that will not let us down. As always, I tried to keep this as short as possible. If you think your time was respected, then a like is appreciated, my friends.